Pickleball is coming to Picklesburgh, but it's not just the location that's unique. The woman who owns this kennel in Burgettstown, Washington County is facing animal cruelty charges after allegedly neglecting 19 animals, including letting a dog freeze to death. And if you are parking here up on the sidewalk, that's going to be a $45 violation from the Pittsburgh Parking Authority. Reporting in the South Side, Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News. It's the first workday of the Commercial Street Bridge closure, and crews are already working, getting it ready for the implosion. Now, we got some answers from PennDOT on whether they are on time. Stay tuned for those updates. With classes scheduled to start here in a few weeks at the New Horizons School, this is the current situation outside of the school. We have sensory games, we have office equipment, and an entire library full of books out here for garbage after mold was found growing on them while they were in storage containers. I spoke to a parent who says they are concerned that classes will not be able to start on time. Reporting in Beaver County, Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News. A corrections officer at this Washington County jail is currently behind bars tonight after allegedly having inappropriate contact with a minor. I am currently here at the Meadows Racetrack, and this is the place you're going to want to be on Saturday if you love horses and horse racing. The Grade 1 Dublin Miller Adios isn't just a race, it's a speed test where a fraction of a second makes or breaks a season. It's a 5/8 of a mile's race, and there are tons of prizes and fun things to do. But for now, reporting at the Meadows Racetrack, Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News. A flooded apartment and tenants looking for answers. I'm Samantha Smith in Rostraver, and coming up tonight, we'll tell you who's responsible and what renter's insurance may or may not cover. The city celebration kicks off at 4 on Saturday, with the fireworks being lit at 9:35. Reporting in downtown Pittsburgh, Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News. Lawmakers now have 120 days to decide whether skill games become taxed and regulated like the rest of PA's gaming industry or go dark altogether. Reporting in Washington County, I'm Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News. The Washington Center was created by state lawmakers to encourage college students to participate in free thinking. But right now, with low enrollment in the center, officials say this is nothing to be worried about. With a little over 4 weeks until classes start on West Virginia University's campus, most students have their schedules finalized for the fall semester. But for WVU's Washington Center for Civics, Culture, and Statesmanship, enrollment is low. WVU's state-mandated Civics Center includes classes called Woke and the New Right. While the center is preparing for its first semester, only 2 students are enrolled in the center's 18 classes. The center isn't unique to WVU, but critics say the low interest is.
If you look at first-year numbers for other civic centers across the country, they might not have 1 student, they might have like 5 or 6. That's not much more, but it shows like there's an interest there.
In an email to KDKA-TV, Patrick Miller, the director of the center, said in part, "Success in the first 2 years will be demonstrated by a growing number of students who testified to the excellence of our teaching and our commitment to free speech in an educational environment that prefers ideological conformity to truth. Success after that, the sky's the limit." But critics say creating a center focusing on those ideals is unnecessary.
But I also don't see how this center is necessary, how they couldn't have just promoted an initiative at WVU to expand its course catalog, how they couldn't have just, tried to launch an internal investigation to make sure political bias isn't playing a role in the classroom, something that wouldn't require a $3 million fund to start a new center in the context of firing 143 people and cutting 28 programs.
In 2023, WVU underwent an academic transformation amid a budget deficit of $45 million. WVU received $1.5 million from the state to operate the center, but has to pay the remaining costs. Being a land-grant institution, critics feel concerned with the center's intentions.
I think that's really important to note whenever they're putting out statements saying the news articles are calling us partisan. They are, because you are.
Officials from the center say that this is still a work in progress as they are hiring faculty and adjusting its curriculum. Reporting in Morgantown, West Virginia, Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News. These portable air conditioning tubes at the Rochester Manor Nursing Facility don't even scratch the surface of what concerned people say is going on inside that facility.
But this was heartbreaking.
When families place their loved ones into long-term care facilities, they also place trust in the facility to keep their loved ones safe and provide adequate care. Which is why Erin Gackrick decided to take a tour of the Rochester Manor before placing her mother-in-law in its rehabilitation facility.
Myself, I'm a very cold person. I love heat, and this was awful. I could feel the stickiness on my hands.
Gackrick asked the director who led her on the tour about the heat in the facility, which left her with even more concerns.
No one ever asked him about the temperature. He said that elderly people run at colder temperatures than we do, and that it was okay for their temperature.
And those are just some of the alleged horrors that Gackrick says are happening in the facility.
As soon as I walked into the floor, I looked to the left and I seen a gentleman who looked to be 75, 85 years old, naked, genitals, all of it, struggling to either get out or in a bed, I'm not sure.
She obtained paperwork and text messages from employees of the facility that listed temperatures in the building exceeding 80 degrees.
I had the ducks in the row. I had a company on standby willing to come out there that night.
KDKA-TV spoke to a former employee who says he was in the process of restoring air conditioning to the facility, but he was terminated before he could get it fixed.
Every resident would have had air conditioner, and I was told no.
KDKA also obtained photographs that appeared to document some of the conditions that Hudson and Gackrick described, including an elevator marked out of service, a dead rat inside the facility, trash bags piled in the hallway, what appears to be a mold-covered shower, and what a source identifies as a bed bug sealed inside of a plastic bag. We took these allegations to Rochester Manor to try and get answers, but were told to leave by the Rochester Borough Police, who were already on the property for a separate matter. Both Hudson and Gackrick agree they just want to see conditions improve for these residents.
We have to stand up for these people because they can't. Somebody has to.
Charges in a deadly DUI have finally been filed almost a month after a woman was killed here in West Mifflin, and investigators outlined the criminal complaint what they call a reckless drive. It was at this intersection where 40-year-old Keith Sherba caused a deadly collision last month. The deadly crash killed 60-year-old Shelley Hunter and injured another. According to the criminal complaint, Sherba was traveling over 90 miles an hour just 600 feet from the crash site.
It's scary, it's very unfortunate, sad. That should never happen.
Drivers who live in the area say the tragedy is heartbreaking, but isn't surprising. This man has seen multiple crashes at this intersection since just moving in a few months ago. He says it's time for something to be done to make it safer.
More lights, more traffic controls, just a lot more care for the people that live around here. But for an accident to happen that often in the same intersection just seemed pretty scary.
But investigators say it wasn't just the intersection alone. It was the reckless driving that led to the deadly crash. The alleged crimes began in Oakland, where police say Sherba stole a construction vehicle while under the influence of substances, drove it across the Birmingham Bridge, struck a car while turning onto East Carson Street, and continued to the FBI office on East Carson Street, where he removed the trailer from the vehicle and told security personnel he stole the vehicle. According to the complaint, Sherba then traveled to the intersection of Buttermilk Hollow Road and Lebanon Church Road, where investigators say he ran the red light and slammed into Hunter's SUV, killing her and seriously injuring another driver. Witnesses on scene said Sherba made several irrational statements after the collision. And when interviewed by detectives at the hospital, Sherba said he had taken, quote, a little bit of everything. Sherba also admitted to detectives that he had been drinking the night before and had not taken his prescribed medication for paranoid schizophrenia for several days and was speeding because he was, quote, crazy. Sherba is charged with a number of charges, including homicide by vehicle while DUI. Reporting in West Mifflin, Samantha Smith, KDKA-TV News.
This is the KDKA-TV News at Noon.
Good afternoon and happy Friday, Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful looking afternoon over the city today. Thanks for being with us on KDKA. I'm Samantha Smith. It's good to be with you. Pennsylvania State Police are urging everyone to be on the alert for scams. This new warning comes after one woman from Derry Township lost $247,000 in a, quote, texting scam. Steelers training camp is back in action out at St. Vincent College in Latrobe.